Hey guys, so here it is, the first team that I've actually built specifically for this channel. Let's take a look, shall we? I'm running Raichu, Haxorus, Blastoise, Arcanine, Amoonguss, and Slowbro. Now, I'm just gonna let you see how they play together. It's kinda cool. Let's look at my opponent's team. He's running Klefki, Vaporeon, Swanna, Garchomp, Tentacruel, and Tyranitar. So a couple of OU threats and Swanna, which is gonna be interesting, I think. Anyway, I just want to let you know that this battle just turned out to be Switch madness. I mean, just the whole thing ended up being so long, I had to more than double the speed of the video to make it a reasonable length. You know, I think it ended up being like 17 minutes in the replay, which is crazy. So, yeah, I'm just gonna let you watch and see what happens. Alright, Cracker is issuing his challenge, and he's gonna go for that Tyranitar lead as I send out my Raichu. He's gonna Mega straight away, but I'm actually gonna go for the Fake Out and flinch him to stop anything that he's planning on doing. I get hit by that Sandstorm damage, and he cuts and runs to Garchomp, blocking my Thunder Wave. Now, I can't do anything, so I make the hard switch to Slowbro to tank this thing's hits as he goes for the super unexpected dig. Turns out this is a Sandveil Garchomp though, so when he comes up, my Ice Beam is gonna miss, which sucks, but whatever. He's gonna switch into Tentacruel to sponge my Scald as the Sandstorm dies down, and I've got to get out of here, so I go into Amoonguss as he sets up the Toxic Spikes on my switch. Now, Amoonguss is the worst thing that I could have gone to at this point because it's the only thing that can sponge the Toxic Spikes, so something's getting poisoned. The Swanna gets put to sleep as the Tentacruel switches back out, and I go to my Raichu. Now, he switches fearing an electric move, and he goes into his Tyranitar as I go for the knockoff. I can't get rid of his Megastone though, so I just Volt Switch out to Amoonguss to sponge the Toxic Spikes. He's gonna set up his Rock Polish here on my switch, but he's gonna run back to Swanna as I go for the Clear Smog to try and get rid of his boosting. At this point though, I figure it's about time for a kill. So, I'm gonna switch between Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain until this thing finally goes down. Now that that's over with, the Klefki's gonna come out, and I'm just gonna switch to Raichu predicting the Thunder Wave, but he's actually gonna go for the Torment instead, so I have no idea what he's got up his sleeve. I go for the Thunder Wave though, and he predicts that nicely and goes out into Garchomp to block it again. I just decide to leave Raichu in for dead because I don't want anything else taking that damage, so I just knock off his Earthquake and go down to a Dragon Rush. Arcanine comes in to get the Intimidate off, and I pull a double into my Slowbro, knowing that after the Intimidate, Garchomp can do exactly nothing to me, but he runs out to Vaporeon, fearing that I'm up to something sneaky, so I have to triple into Amoonguss, which scares him out into Klefki. I don't know what this thing's gonna do, but I figure it needs a nap, so I tuck him in nice and tight and go out into my Haxorus thinking it's time to set up and do some damage. Now, that is gonna scare him out into his Tyranitar, but I set up my Dragon Dance on his switch, so I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake. That causes him to switch out to Garchomp, and the Earthquake hits, which is good, and I'm just gonna go for the EQ again, thinking that it's more likely to hit than Dragon Claw in the Sandstorm, but I don't know if that's actually true. Now, he goes out into his Vaporeon, and I'm fearing the Ice Beam here, so I switch to Amoonguss as he sets up the Wish. And now he's just gonna go back out into Klefki again. So, here, after that Giga Drain goes through, I'm just gonna pull the switch into my Arcanine, and admittedly, I should have predicted him to switch here and gone for the Will-O-Wisp, but instead I go for the Flare Blitz, and then make a bit of a misplay and go back out into my Amoonguss. Now, that's a misplay because Amoonguss is the only thing that can sponge the Toxic Spikes, which he sets up, and so now something else has to get poisoned. So I decide that's got to be Blastoise, and I just switch it in and sponge the foul play. Now, he's gonna bring the Tentacruel back to sponge my Water Pulse, and I am getting sick of this thing now. So I'm gonna stay in and just keep going for Dark Pulse until it goes down. Alright, thank goodness. So, he's gonna bring out the Vaporeon, and an Aura Sphere on that thing is not gonna be enough to do damage, and especially when I'm expecting to get Toxic Stalled here, I just decide to make the switch out into Amoonguss and get rid of the Toxic Spikes for good. But, he's just gonna go for the Protect, and I can't really do anything, so then he just makes a switch into Klefki. And he goes for the Torment again, but I'm just gonna put it back to sleep because I don't want to deal with whatever it wants to do. So I think now I can set up again, and I go into Haxorus to go for the Dragon Dance. He's gonna switch his Vaporeon, and now I'm gonna leave again fearing the Ice Beam. At this point though, I should have made the connection that if he hasn't used it yet, he did not have it. Now that I'm into my Slowbro, I catch the Tyranitar with the Thunder Wave on the switch in, which is nice having that thing crippled because now I can just go for Scalds. He's actually though gonna go back to his Vaporeon in just a second. There it is. And now I can't do anything to Vaporeon with my Slowbro, so I go out to my Blastoise so that I can get a clean switch into my Haxorus. He just sets up the Wish, and I die to Sandstorm and Toxic damage. Now, knowing that he wants to heal something with his Wish, I just go for the Earthquake straight away and catch the Tyranitar on the switch in, taking it down, so that is fantastic. The Vaporeon comes back, and I'm just going to go into my Amoonguss, which is going to send him back to Klefki once he gets through with Muddy Water. And of course, the Klefki switch is going to cause me to go back to Haxorus. Which is good though, because I finally managed to take that thing down with an Earthquake. So the Vaporeon is his last thing, and it comes in, and I hit it with an Earthquake, but he starts setting up the Acid Armor and goes for a Wish. Now, he's clearly just gonna Wish Protect stall me, which is annoying, but I think that I should be able to hit him on the special side with Amoonguss and take him down with Giga Drain. But that's not gonna do enough damage, and he's gonna go for the Protect, which is just going to needlessly extend the battle, so I'm just going to go for a Spore, put this thing to sleep, and just Giga Drain it until it goes down to claim the win. So there it is, you guys. My new team pulls out a win in its debut match. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see how it does in the subsequent battles, which I'm hoping it'll do pretty well. Now, I gotta say, I'm actually pretty excited because so far I've gotten my first request to build a team, and that is actually a sound team, which is really interesting to me. So I'm gonna do that, and that's gonna be the next team that I use. I'm gonna work on that one throughout the week. I may put up a showdown battle using whatever I come up with as a concept for it. I don't know if I'm going to do that just yet, but regardless, I'm pretty excited, like I said, so I'm going to be bringing you these, and I'm going to be working on a new team for next week. So yeah, enjoy guys, have a good one.